Hey, it's Aaron here. I'm so glad you've joined me. Welcome back to our third episode in our series about setting boundaries and leadership. By the way, if you missed any of the other episodes, don't worry. You can like or subscribe or follow on my YouTube channel, and you can watch all of the videos from this series and a bunch of other ones that might inspire you. I hope you check them out. When it comes to setting boundaries and leadership, one of the things I like to focus on is starting small. Now, I know a lot of people talk about setting huge goals and enormous goals, and that's awesome. But generally, what happens is we can get overwhelmed when we set goals that are enormous, but they feel like they're out of our reach. Now, I don't want to tell you not to pursue those goals. Setting goals and achieving them is one of the most powerful things that we can do to prevent burnout, because when we see that progress, we feel empowered and it helps us to feel like the work we're doing is purposeful and meaningful. But one of the things that can happen is when you set too large of goals, you can get overwhelmed if you don't set smaller goals along the way. So the reason why I wanted to talk about boundary setting and leadership, and now also about this idea of setting goals, is because the three actually work together. And sometimes people do the same things with boundary setting goals as they do with your other work goals, which is they set these enormous, huge goals. And what happens is they start to set enormous goals that actually become fairly overwhelming. And what I like to do with leaders is actually come back to this idea of start small and start win stacking a set of small goals that you can achieve and that will build your confidence and trust. An example, maybe you're one of these workaholics. I don't know anything about that. I don't know anything about workaholics. It's just you. It's not me. But those people who love to work and go and go and go. An achievable boundary setting goal that you might set is that, hey, I'm going to work hard in these 8 or 10 hours that I'm at work. I'm going to go 100%. I'm going to give everything that I have. But when that end of that time comes that I set, no matter where I'm at, I'm going to stop and I'm going to honor that boundary, and I'm going to actually go home and spend time with my family and with my children or with my friends. And I'm going to make sure that I honor that boundary. Now, honoring boundaries for yourself is very powerful, not just for you, but it's very powerful for everyone else who's watching you, because it gives permission for them or for the other people who are following your leadership to really also set boundaries themselves. So there's a great little catchy bumper sticker quote here, and it says that success is not accidental. And this area, boundary setting, is one of those areas where it directly correlates to your success. If you're unable to set boundaries, you will be successful at the beginning, but in the long run, you may discover that you are completely burned out. And so success is not accidental. And if you want to get really good and be able to go the distance and have a long-term impact, you've got to start setting boundaries. And I just encourage you, start small, because success is not accidental. It's something you do intentionally. And that includes with setting small boundaries that are achievable. So you might start with something like ending work at a time that you commit to. You might start with something like giving yourself 15 minutes in the morning to do something for you that helps you to start your day rejuvenated and focused. Like maybe you journal, maybe you go for a walk, maybe you take a couple of minutes every day at lunchtime and you do some stretching or some yoga. Those aren't just goals. Those can also be boundaries that you set, because you know and I know that everything wants to encroach on your time. Everything wants to get every ounce of your time, effort, and energy, and it doesn't really care about your personal goals. So when you set a boundary and say, no, every day from 12 to 12:30, I go for a 30-minute walk because it helps me perform at my best, what you're actually doing is setting a goal that's also a boundary that helps you to be more successful.